Good evening. I'm NaturesTemper, and I will be your narrator tonight. This next story is Catfished in the Worst Possible Way by worldofleo. She told me her name was Tanya. She said she lived in LA, like me, and that she was 24. Her picture was cute, as was her personality. We met online, and things are going well. That first night, we chatted and flirted for 3 hours. I thought I'd found something with her. Her picture was of a young girl with light brown skin and chocolate brown eyes. She had a smile that would knock the wind right out of you. Tanya. But the thing is, I've been burned by people on the internet before, so I tend to tread carefully. I'm sad to admit this, but I sort of catfished her. I sent her a picture, but it wasn't me. I found it on Google image search and uploaded it. She said I looked cute. Back and forth we went, sending pictures, building this relationship, but the entire time I realized I was doing the very thing people had done to me before. I was torn up, but I kept going on with it. Tanya was very clever, witty, and compassionate. Our evening conversations evolved into sending texts throughout the day. I desperately wanted to FaceTime, but I was afraid to show her exactly what I looked like. She never brought it up, so neither did I. We just continued with our messages and texts and the occasional sharing of pictures. With every new picture she shared, I felt more alive and more connected to her. I started to look forward to her texts every day. No matter how things went at work, I knew I had this relationship to look forward to. Eventually, our relationship became physical. Well, as physical as it can be online. She started things off by sending me a sultry picture. It continued from there, and eventually we were having cyber or phone sex several times a week. Say what you will about online relationships, but this one felt real. It felt right. One day she asked if I'd like to meet. I remember writing back, like, in person. She sent me a laughing emoji and said, "Of course." Then she sent me a picture of her in lingerie and she said she'd be wearing it. I went crazy. We decided on a place. It was a hotel a few miles from my house. Even though I felt like I knew Tanya, I wanted to be careful. Plus, I lived with my parents, so bringing her over just wouldn't work. She said the same thing about her living situation. So, we both found a spot and planned to meet later that night. I showered and dressed to impress. I also packed some condoms and brought some flowers for her. I headed over to the hotel a little before we were going to meet. I parked across the street and then watched for her to show up. Part of me wondered if she'd keep her word. I saw a car pull up, so I slowly walked across the street. At first, I didn't understand what I was seeing. It just made me pause. I hid behind another car in the parking lot. Immediately, something felt wrong. The car was full of people. 1 girl and 2 men were with her. They all got out of the car and headed upstairs to a hotel room. Their hands were full of bags. One of the men had a Michael Myers mask on his head. Then it was Tanya. But it wasn't Tanya. She was sat in the driver's seat and stared down. Moments later, my phone buzzed. "I'm here, sweetie. Where are you?" "I'm almost there," I replied. Tanya wasn't Tanya. At least not the girl from the pictures. She was much older. I could see her wrinkles from where I was crouched. She was wearing all black, including black leather gloves. "I'm getting a room," she said. "Just meet me upstairs." I watched her get out of the car. She took out a large bag and a Louisville Slugger and went into the room next to her friends. I took a deep breath and walked back to my car. She messaged again. "Almost here? I can't wait to meet, baby." I turned off my phone and drove away. I don't know what would have happened, of course, but when you message someone online, you're never sure who they really are. This makes me sick every time I think about it. You'd think by 2017 we'd learned our lesson, but I guess I didn't. Be careful, friends.